Hey everyone! In this video, we'll take a peek at some of the more commonly used student screens. When you click on the Students tab, you're going to see a grid that lists all of the students who have ever enrolled in your program. It includes everyone, even if they're no longer active. There could be thousands of students in your site. All grids have search and sort features. To search, type in one or more of the boxes under each column. If I type the letter B in this box, it will show all the students with a last name that starts with B. The key icon has a menu of tools to help filter records. You can also sort by clicking on the title of any column. If you were to click on the words First Entry, it's going to sort everyone with the oldest entry date to the top of the list. Click it again to reverse the sort and see people in order by the most recent entry date. Click the blue Reset button to remove all your search criteria. When you find the name of a student you're looking for, click anywhere in the row to select it. After selecting a row, you'll land on the Student Summary screen. You can tell where we are by the shading on the File tabs. This page is a snapshot of basic info about each student. This area shows their most recent tests in each testing family and subject. The green shaded box shows some facts that are usually recorded when the student comes into your program. If they're currently enrolled in classes, you'll see a student schedule right here. Let's move along to the next tab called the Assessment tab. We're still looking at the same student. If you remember, the summary screen shows the student's most recent tests in each family and subject. This page shows all the tests the student has ever taken. If this student is shared with another ABE program, it's going to show tests they've taken elsewhere, not just the ones taken at your site. You can also use this screen to add test information about students. If your student just took a pre or post test, come back to this page to enter it. Let's jump over to the History tab. When you do a brand new intake on a student, you ask whether they're low income or on public assistance. You ask if they have a job and what their highest level of education is. When you type those facts into SiD, they'll be added to this screen. If any of that info changes later, you can come back to this History tab and add a new row to update it. You can also look back and see the student's history over time. This page also has goals. Some of the goals, like GED, are data matched. We do a monthly match between SiD and GED.com. If a student passes the series, a new history item will automatically be added to show that they met their goal of passing the GED. Just so you know, some of the details on this page are included in federal NRS reporting. Now we're going to the Time tab. In case you missed it, tracking students' time and attendance is super important because it's associated with your program's funding. In most cases, teachers will add attendance for a whole class of students at one time. All of the attendance associated with the student will appear here on their student's time page as well. For people with admin level logins, this page will show a form at the top so you can add individual chunks of time. You might also use this screen to add intake, orientation, and testing time for a student if you don't have a class set up for that. It's important to accurately enter the number of attendance hours and the actual time they were earned. Proxy hours for distance learning classes are a little different. They can be combined and added at the end of each month rather than on the day they were actually earned. This screen has a grid like you'll see on the Students tab. You can switch the sorting by clicking on a word at the top of each column. The grid also can help you find students that match your search criteria. Maybe you want to know how many hours a student had in a particular class. You can type the ID number of the class in this search box. SiD will filter the time rows based on what you type. Here's a question we often get. Say you were searching for some info about student time, then you left this screen. When you come back later, it looks like the student has hardly any hours. There is no need to panic. It's likely the search criteria you typed before are still active. If you're ever looking at a grid and it seems like it's not showing you all the information, just click the blue reset button. That will clear all the search boxes and refresh all the details. Now we're looking at the Info tab. We'd like to keep a history of name and contact details. On this screen, you have a record of a student's past names, addresses, phone numbers, and email. The contact list is for storing the names of job counselors or people to call in case of emergency. Again, this screen gets populated when you do a brand new intake for a student. If you need to make a change later, you would come back to this page. So that's a quick overview of the various tabs on a student record. To learn more, like how to add students to SiD, check out our other tutorials. Thanks for watching.